Video 2, establishing associative reference features, creating Dart. So we're going to establish the associative reference features and we're going to create a Dart here. I'm going to start by selecting Format, Layer Settings, and scrolling down here to let's say where we have the labels, the video labels 34. I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to leave layer 35 as the work layer. I will do a fit here, and we're going to continue with the part that we have extruded on video 1 by selecting the back edge of the block. And as you can see, I had made this translucency. I'm going to make this a blend of 10. I'm going to hit it OK. I'm going to rotate the part slightly here so we can see the back of the part. We're going to create some datum planes. So selecting the back face of this datum plane, this particular geometry, and enter the value. Any value is acceptable as long as within the extrusion. So I'm going to leave that 25. Be sure that the toggle associative is turned on. Select the bottom also. Select reverse direction. 25 is acceptable. And we're just going to create that datum. I'm going to go back again here into datum plane, and we're going to create some datum axes this time by selecting one of the datums and selecting that face across. So it's an intersection between the face and the datum plane, and we're going to make that an associative axis. We will hit apply. That creates an associative axis. We're going to select the other datum plane and select the bottom face. Again, we have an associative toggle. We hit apply so we remain in the same panel or the same palette. We're going to select now those two faces, intersecting faces, create another axis in between the two intersecting faces, the back faces. And now we're going to take both of those axes that we have originally created. I guess I forgot to go back into datum plane first. So I got to select datum plane. I'm going to select that axis, select this axis, and I have created a datum plane at the intersection of those two axes, and it's associative. I'm going to create one more datum at the axis in relationship to that 90 degrees datum plane that we have originally created, and be sure that is associative as well. And one more plane. This one is going to be right there in the middle, and since the width is 50, we're going to leave that as 25, and that's good. We can take the bottom of this particular datum plane and we're going to resize it by just selecting it and going to resize datum planes. We can slightly move it on the sides, and the only reason is it doesn't make any difference, just for visualization purposes. So we can see that that would be the datum plane where we're going to place the dart that we're going to create. And the next thing to do on the safe side is to take the WCS and go under Format, select WCS, select Orient, and then we'll select the datum plane, and we place the scissors right in that plane that we're going to create the dart. We're going to take the scissors and double click on it and rotate it until we have the Y pointing up and the X pointing in the right direction. The Z is pointing away from the view that we're looking at, and that way allow us to create the dart in the proper orientation. We go under Insert, select Sketch in Task Environment, and we're going to type in the name of the sketch. Call it Escape. Abbreviate the word profile is fine, and we put a underscore, anything we can do here. We put on type an X. We give it a name. Be sure that creating immediate datum sees this tagolan. And we're going to select that plane where we're going to place the dart. Be sure that the Y is pointing up, the X is pointing towards the right, Z is pointing away from it. Hit OK. We're in the sketch mode now. What we're going to do is we're going to just throw some geometry here for the creation of the dart. Create some lines. Click here, drag it around, and we create the arc around it. And we're going to need one more line here. Just point in one direction and the other. Notice that I'm kind of sloppy, and do that intentionally so we can, when we create the constraints, we can see what is going on with the constraints. We need to create 21 constraints. That is as many constraints as we're going to put on this dart. But because of time issues, I want to keep these videos as short as possible, so you can take a break and come back and look into how we're going to constrain this sketch. So we're going to finish the sketch and we'll go into the next video.